And our third and final main topic today gets submitted to us by Graham Mike. I'm going to say Mikee. I'm going to say Mikee. Graham Mikee writes, "Hey, John, I was really surprised to hear you say that you are enjoying the new Superman and Lois show. Dude, nobody was more surprised about that than I am. Anyway, I know you've said they do him much better than they did before, but I was wondering what about it makes this new Superman better than the way they did him before. Thanks, and keep on that filthy." All right, thanks a lot, man, for sending that in. And yes, look, we've been talking about this Superman and Lois show for a little bit now. If you guys haven't heard me talk about it before, here's a little bit of context. The way they have done this particular Superman in the CW universe up until the Superman and Lois show is a complete and utter embarrassment and disgrace. A complete and total embarrassment and disgrace. And a massive example of how you mistreat one of the greatest superheroes, the granddaddy of all superheroes of all time, Superman. It was nothing short of a disgrace. And I was at one point a very, very big fan of the CW Arrowverse, and that like pissed me off to no end. So when they announced that they were going to be making this jobber Superman into his own TV show, and by the way, that's casting no shade on the actors in the thing. What's the Tyler Hoechlin? I've never known how to pronounce his name right. No pun intended. Super good actor. No pun intended. I think he seems like a really good actor. I really like the girl playing Lois because I used to love watching her in what was the name of the sci-fi show she was just in about the monster hunting? Come on, guys, help me. I used to Grimm. Thank you, Calvin Patel in the live chat, and Larry and Angel and yeah, Grimm. I used to love watching her in Grimm. I really liked that show, by the way. I mean, it was a shame the last season was like so rushed and like it did. Last season was a write-off, but I really liked that show, Grimm. If they ever did I know I'm getting sidetracked here, but if they ever did a revitalization of that show, I would be all on board for that. Anyway, I've always liked the actors. I just hated what they did with this character. So when they said they were doing this new Superman show, I had less than zero interest in that show. I had no interest in watching a jobber Superman show. No interest in jobber Superman. And then I had a few people tell me, John, you know what? You might want to watch the first episode. So I went and watched the first episode, and I'm like, you know what? That wasn't bad. I'm sure they'll totally crap the bed in the second episode. Like they'll blow it in the second episode. Because yeah, that first episode, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. They're going to blow it in the second episode. And then I watched the second episode, and I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. This feels more HBO, which is a high praise because, HBO, I think, is the gold standard when it comes to streaming television production. This feels more HBO than CW to me. This is pretty good. And I've watched it since, and I got to say, I've now come full circle. I am a big fan of this Superman show. I'm officially a big, big fan of this Superman show. And the question becomes, why? And I asked myself, why am I such a big fan of this show? What is it? What is the characteristic about this show and this iteration of this Superman that I hated so much before that has me so intrigued and so bought in? And I wasn't really able to fully put my finger on it until I watched the latest episode. Now, I'm not going to give any major spoilers away for those of you who may have missed the most recent episode. Just minor plot points from the latest episode, so don't worry, you don't have to turn away or anything like that. But one of the things that I always liked about the first number of episodes that came out was the fact that it's, number one, Superman is no longer a jobber. He's the bloody Superman. He is the Superman. He is, as the general says, the most important individual on the planet. And it was so good for me to hear, finally, the show acknowledge this guy, this is the granddaddy of all superheroes. You need to treat this character with respect. And to hear the show go, You, Superman, are the most important being in the world. And to see him be Superman, there was an episode where, he flies to save Lois. This is, I think, 2 weeks ago. He flies to save Lois. Turns out she's being attacked by this metahuman who, gets in some shots on Superman. And then Superman's like, okay, bitch, you've had your fun. By the way, I am fucking Superman. And then he, bam, smacks the dude down. And I'm just like, I'm eating it up like a little kid. But I always knew that I like the fact that they're showing him struggling as a father and all that kind of stuff, kind of taking a different approach, something we've never seen in any Superman iteration before. The idea of watching Superman struggle with that being as a father. But I had a hard time. But this latest episode is the one to me that I was able to finally really nail down what it is I love about this show. And here's what it is. Follow me here. And let me know if I'm not explaining this right. This is why this show works so well for me. It does two things at the same time. Now, what you don't want in a Superman show, and as Robert Meyer Burnett often points out, why it's so difficult to make a good Superman story is because what can challenge the Superman? And so it becomes very difficult to write compelling stories. Supergirl took the angle of, well, the way you make Superman more relatable is make him everybody's little bitch. And make him a jobber. That's how you make Superman more relatable. It's like, no. Just shh. No, that's not how, shh. That's not how you make Superman more relatable. What this show has done instead is they showed that the struggle of the Superman, and your heroes always need the struggle. Whatever your hero is, whatever the story is, you need to have that central struggle. Whether it's against an enemy, against themselves, against their environment, but the hero always has to have a struggle. Other iterations like Supergirl try to make, let's give Superman his physical limitations. That's his struggle. That is not the struggle you give to the Superman. But instead, what they did, and this was highlighted best in this most recent episode, Superman doesn't know what he's doing. And I love it. I love it. And you think, like, sometimes we watch the hero and you think, how can this hero overcome these insurmountable physical obstacles? But with Superman, I was watching this latest episode because here's the basic gist of it. He is trying to take care of a big villain. He's trying to deal with a big villain. At the same time, his wife desperately needs him in another place. While at the same time, his two sons also are calling out for his help. They desperately need, I'm not going to give away plot details, but he's trying to deal with a dangerous villain. At the same time, he's supposed to be somewhere meeting his responsibilities as a husband to his wife. And at the same time, his sons are calling out for help. The challenges faced before Superman, where you realize this dude doesn't know what to do, they found a way without, what's the word I'm looking for? Neutering. They found a way to give Superman incredible struggle without neutering who he is as the Superman. And as I'm watching this episode, I'm like, because normally you see the hero against a couple of big villains, you think, how is he going to get out of this? With Superman in the show, I'm like, I'm looking at the scenario he's in. He's got to deal with this, but he's got to go deal with that, and he's got to deal with this. How is he going to manage this? And you feel the struggle of the hero, and I felt like they did it. They cracked the formula. They cracked the formula as far as television goes. Now listen, this Superman show is like, what, 3-4 episodes in now? I am not saying that this Superman show is better than Smallville. That would be a ridiculous thing to say either way, because Smallville had, what, 37 seasons? No, seriously, what did it have, like 8 seasons? Help me out in the live chat. How many, 7, 8, or 9? I think it was one of those, number of seasons that it had. It had its full run, all of its seasons, all that kind of stuff. Superman and Lois is a number. It was 10. It was 10. There you go. It was 10 episodes. Thank you, Anthony, James, Scott, Heath, Mr. 100, Thomas, and all you guys writing in. Everybody knew it was 10. I'm sitting here, was it 8 or 9? 10 seasons. It would be ridiculous to say Smallville is any better or any worse than Superman and Lois at this point, which is just a couple of episodes in. But I have loved the balance these showrunners have found. How do you tell compelling, interesting, high stakes Superman story without the need to neuter Superman and make him a jobber? And they seem to have, and do it in a way that is compelling and engaging for an audience member. And listen, I got to tell you, I think they found a way to do it. I think they've done it. And I just found myself watching this episode. I'm like, I had my drink. I had my rice cake with peanut butter on it. Yes, I snack sometimes on rice cakes with peanut butter on it. Anyway, I had my drink and my rice cake, and I put him down as I'm watching Superman trying to deal with this dilemma, and I literally clapped my hands. I was sitting there watching my TV going, bravo, showrunners, you found a way to do it. Now, listen, this is still CW. They could absolutely find a way to completely botch this. They could completely drop the ball. This thing could completely go to hell. We've seen them do it on other CW shows. But listen, as somebody who has crapped all over this version, and rightfully so, as somebody who has crapped all over this iteration and version of Superman for a long time, I gotta say, I love the characters. I didn't know if I would like the Sons. I'm loving the story of the Sons. I like the way they've dealt with the Superman. I like how they're expanding the story just beyond who's his big bad guy of the week to fight. I gotta say, this may go to crap, but I gotta say, I am all in on board in this show. I am all on board with this show. And so anyway, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Have you guys been enjoying this Superman and Lois show? Has it worked for you? Has it not quite been your cup of tea? Whatever your thoughts are, jump on down into the comments section below and leave your thoughts there. Okay, guys.